All right, guys, welcome back. For you, it's week 3 of grooming. For me, it's goat 3 on the same day. Thankfully, Wren is my last goat for today. And unlike the other two, Misty and Persephone, who collectively took a little over 2 hours to get both of them done, Wren should only take the normal time. Wren has virtually no undercoat, so she really has nothing to get tangled. The only thing I need to work on is just a little bit back here where, of course, she has given birth, and so she's got some junk stuck in the back of her fur here. Her hair, technically. It's not fur. Her fiber. That would be her baby hollering for her. Now, funny enough, Wren's babies are sort of in the middle. She was the third of 5 goats to give birth. She gave birth March 8th, 7th or 8th. I think it was the 8th for her. Don't quote me. Lucky I remember that it was March. See, that's already done. She's already fully clean and brushed out on this side. That's how quick things go with Miss Wren. But anyway, so her babies are just about 5 weeks and they are hollering for her, which is interesting because honestly, when they're in the pasture, they could care less about hanging with mom. You know, her babies are Voodoo and Velocity Girl. They're bold, they're brash, they're bossy. They don't need their mama for nothing, I guess, unless I take her out to groom her. Are you gonna poop again? You've already pooped on the stand once. Yep, you sure are. Well, you guys are gonna get an extra special treat today. You're gonna get to see me sweep. If at all possible. It's not possible necessarily while I'm washing them, but while I'm dry grooming them like this, when it's possible, I want to sweep all that poop that they've just so lovely dropped for me out from under where I'm going to be walking standing, just so I'm not grinding poop into the cement. It comes off. We can power wash it. It eventually just biodegrades anyway. But, you know, at the end of the day, if I can not grind it into the cement and then I can run a push broom and take care of the center aisle, that's probably the better plan. So the last couple of sessions, I've been talking to you about the show and decisions and all the things. And by this point, you will be seeing this, I think, after the show has already happened. So I'm not even going to bother with that during today's conversation. Today's conversation is going to be much more normal. So if you were wondering if I was lying when I say grooming that is not spring cleanup grooming is fast and easy, you're going to see that I was not lying. It is fast and easy. It usually is only, 10, 15 minutes max. And with her, it's even faster. 1, she's a small goat, and 2, she has 0 undercoat, so it's really nice. She just has some tangles back here, some crunchy stuff where, after birth and bodily fluids got kind of scrunched up. If I'm not going to put her in the show, and at this point I don't believe I am, then, having her pristine isn't required. But at the same time, if I'm going to bring her to the show and people are going to see her, of course I want her to be pristine and as if she were going in the ring. I try and keep all my goats in show condition. Show condition is, well brushed, washed, groomed, no tangles, relatively clean. I mean, they're goats. They're not going to be immaculate. I don't want them to be. I want them to be goats. But at the same time, they shouldn't be filthy. They shouldn't have mats and tangles. They shouldn't have debris in their hair all caught up. And when they're groomed on a consistent basis, like this, where it only takes a few minutes, it's such an easy thing to do. Yeah, you're going to complain. Wow, you are really working the camera today. It's such an easy thing to do, and it really does make a difference on their overall health and well-being, their appearance. how they look and feel. I mean, don't you always feel better after a shower, you know, especially on a hot, muggy day? Yeah, you feel better after you're groomed. So she will get the full show prep treatment, even if I don't enter her in the show. And based on what I'm seeing, as much as I want to, I am not going to be entering her in the show. Well, that's kind of disappointing, but you know, it is what it is, right? I can't force their coats to grow. And coat is like the single most important thing beyond conformation. And I don't have to really assess my girls' conformation. I don't put them in a breeding program if they're not as perfectly conformed as they can be, which means that really the deciding factor for them is their coat. And while she has everything she needs up here, everything, cheek muffs, bangs, beard, neck hair, I don't know what's going on down here, but it's not working. It's not happening for you, kiddo. So this is what a typical groom looks like. There's no tangles to start. It's a quick brush through. Sometimes I will run that rake through, especially in spring, just to make sure there's nothing hidden under the coat. A nice conditioning spray. Of course, I did their hooves, or I did her hooves before I put it on camera. So hoof trim. And yeah, total time investment, including the time to put her on the stand and, you know, drag her out of the stall and all that. No more than 20 minutes. A lot of times it's 15 minutes. Depends on how much they fight me in terms of doing their hooves. You know, she was ornery today, and so it took me a little longer to do her hooves than it normally would because she was just uncooperative. But that's what grooming a goat looks like on a normal basis. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope you're enjoying this series. Let me know if you want to see or hear something for, you know, a topic for me to talk about during grooming. I can always cover off during grooming because I groom every week from here on in. So again, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, day, evening, whatever you've got. And until next time, there's more work to be done. Bye for now.